So I started by building up the base with some Sculpt-a-mold over some wrapped cardboard. Of course, it wasn't tall enough, so I had to pull it apart. Pulled it apart some more. I built it up with some more cardboard and plastic wrap, and then started rebuilding the sides. Made sure it was going to be tall enough. And then I went ahead and finished rebuilding the rest. Once it was all dry, I marked where all the figures would be. And then for all the figures that I wanted lights for, I poked some holes in the base. At this point I need to remove the cardboard so that I can get underneath. I did a quick test to make sure that the lights would work, and then I made sure all the holes were big enough. I traced out a path that I was going to carve out of the lower part of the base. I used packing tape and hot glue to plug up the holes so that I can pour resin from the underside. This is only my second time using lights, so it is a mess. Once that was all cured, I cleaned up all of the hot glue and started to paint. This is when I glued the base to the wood. And since I was waiting for that to dry, I decided to glue down some of the other figures. Then I hid the edges of the figures with some more Sculpt-a-mold. This is supposed to be on a beach, so I carefully covered the entire top surface with sand. I mixed up some paint to match some shells that I wanted to use. Once the base coat of paint was down, I used lots of darker washes to add some depth. Once the paint was dry, I glued down the rest of the figures with some UV resin. Then I filled in any gaps and hid in the glue with some more sand. I used some fake grass and some UV resin to make some fish and decorations. I also added some shells. I don't have footage of the resin pour or any of the painting I did afterwards, but here is the final result.